Hey, it's me, Pinky. I want to talk about today something that I figured out by, let's say learning it the hard way, just because I did go for 1.5 billion like a month ago, and since then I didn't really found a good way to get rid of my T3s again. Like you can see, I have still 28 million of them. It was, I think, 33 million T3 calves. So I was able to kill some of them, but since I missed stuff like CCS and all this, I decided to try out Glory Battle with my T3s mainly. So first thing, I tried to make use of you get 40% of your losses healed by system, which means you can send 60% T3, 40% T4, and even if your March gets annihilated, you don't have to heal your T4 because 40% getting healed by the system of your losses, and it will prioritize better troops. But as you can see, I took even less than 40% of my troops, which has a simple reason, and even less than 40% of my troops. And the extra troops from Glory Battle, and if I activate my small blue drake, I also add this T3s, which has a simple reason. First day I was fighting, I streaked a bit, and then my T3s were gone and my T4s got hurt, and you see I don't have a lot of T4s, so I had to heal some of my T4s, and if I do this more often I will lose more T4s, and I want to get rid of my T3s mainly. So I'm sending a bit more, because if you only send 60%, if you win a few times, this might not work out anymore. Then there's another thing I want to talk about, just so you understand the difference between T3s and T4s better. It's based on the stats. If you look onto the T4 and compare to the T3, then you will see it's the attack of a T4 is around 66% better, and defense and health around, let's say, 25%, which makes T4 troop combined around 40% better than T3, which is not entirely true, because most people have way better attack stats than defense and health. You get more value out of the 60% better attack, but to keep it simple, we just say it's around 40%. So just so you have a rare idea of how strong a T4 versus a T3 troop is. Every one of you should know that a T4 takes double the time to produce than T3. So at the same time you can build a T4, you can build 2 T3s, 4 T2s or 8 T1s. This is also just a bit of number stuff. Then we have a producing value of T3s and T4s, which is pretty simple. All troops take grain, 2 other resources and gold, both take all resources, and then you just multiply. You take 1000 grain, 1000 stone, 1000 iron, and 500 gold, and you can make one T4 calf. This can of course be reduced by attack around 30%. I would recommend you to get this because it will save you a ton of rest, which leads to this cost for 1 T4. And then you see 1 T3 is 13 seconds, not 26 like the T4 was, and it's 150 each and a lot less gold. T3 costs you 10 gold, not 500 base, and reduced by 30% you have 105, 105, 105 and 7. Why am I talking about this? Because, I was getting rid of my T3s in Glory Battle, and a lot of people are complaining that Glory Battle is way too expensive. Here you can see what I did spend in my Glory Battle. If you take every number multiplied with 4, you know what I did spend. So I didn't even spend 40 million gold, which is nothing. If you use T4s, you will use a lot more gold. As I said, I had a small mistake at the start, which is why I had some T4s wounded or dead and had to heal them. And you see, overall, I will get back 1.15 million T3 calf, which means I have lost 4.6 million of my T3 calves. And what I want to show you now is pretty much what you can see what I spent. and I want to explain to you what I would have spent if I would have used T4s. Yes, you can say I would have lost less because T4s are better and T4s are fighting better, and so you lose less, but I think this is not entirely true, because yeah, you fight better, you win a bit more, means you streak a bit better, and in the end you lose around the same because you win longer and then you lose harder in the end. So I think if I would have used T4, I might have lost the same amount of troops, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. This being said, our global battle was kinda a bit boring. I would have liked to lose more, but this was not possible. Also, something I want to show, most of my wins were I just straight up countered people. Like when somebody did send inf and I sent cars, it didn't really matter that I sent mostly T3s. When I did run into cars, into spears, I lost, and I would have lost this also with T4s. Here I just fight with someone a lot stronger than me, so same troops, surprise, I lost. This is the only example I could find where maybe would have won was a bow guy, maybe, when I would have sent way more T4s. So in all my fights I could find, I would have had maybe a couple of fights which I would have won with T4s and not have lost with because I did send T3s, because mostly people are way too strong for you, people counter you, you get or you counter them, and if you fight them with the same troop type, you are stronger than them or they are stronger than you. So of course, T4s, like if you are the, let's say, main whale of your faction, you should do this because then you need all the firepower you can get. But if you are not the main whale, try to see it as you try to survive as long as possible and fight as cheap as possible and outlast your enemies by winning versus them in a budget way. So coming to what would I have spent if I would have sent full T4 all the time. It's pretty much easy because you can just take all the numbers by 6.6, because healing a T4 is 6.6 times more expensive than healing T3, and gold wise you can just multiply it by 50. So I would have used 50 times more gold and around 6.5 times more resources. But also an interesting fact is, while producing a T4 costs you double the amount of speed ups than a T3, healing a T4 costs you 5 times. The base healing speed of a T3 is 2 seconds per troop and the base healing speed of a T4 is 10 seconds per troop. So you need 5 times as much speed ups to heal your T4s than your T3s. So I did a bit of math on my lost T3s, and I think I lost around 1.8 something million, which means in the end I had to heal close to 44 days. If this would have been T4s, I would have had to heal around 220 days. And also, as you can see, I lost 4.6 million. If I would have to rebuild them with a speed of 450%, which is something I can easily reach right now, then I would have had to rebuild T4s if I would have sent T4s for 1161 days, or T3s for 580 days. And well, the resources are listed anyways, no need to read them all the time. What I want to tell you is not only for Glory Battle, also for if you solo people in PvP, if you rally people and you think you will win anyways, or if you're not sure if you will win and stuff like this, try to get a habit back on sending a good T3 meat shield, because the rebuilding and the healing is a lot cheaper than T4s. And the extra firepower is kinda big, but not that big. And think about, you're an invader, you don't have endless resources, so it's a lot more easy to rebuild and heal T3s. than to make UT4s. Same goes for Glory Battle. Everyone will be dry of resources one day if you have a Glory Battle where everyone has to fight. And if you use a lot of T3s, you just use a lot less resources than others, and so you cannot last them. Or the early members, and then you can help your warriors with a few resources, for example. I just wanted to, I don't know, give a shout out to T3s and show they are still useful, even if people think having T3s is a waste. By the way, I had the same opinion. This is the best part that came out of my 1.5 billion push. Anyways, I hope this was helpful and you enjoyed it. See you in the next video.